What's up, Rewatchers?
Hi, I'm Dustin.
And I'm Lauren from Fashion Grunge, and we're here to tell you that the following podcast has strong adult language, so please keep in mind who around you can hear it.
Also, just a warning that there are spoilers ahead.
But it's been out for a long time. You really should have watched by now.
Exactly.
Enjoy.
Oh,
right.
Part 4 is my Lenny is a narc. She's back again.
Oh no, I don't remember that. Why? She's not doing anything wrong.
But she's such a narc because she now can like infiltrate and like change her. I love the way she does her like fake valley accent that's supposed to be like an adult somehow that we like don't realize as a kid.
Hello, Rewatchers. How you doing? My name is Dustin, and this is the Rewatch Recap, where we recap shows for nostalgia or pure amusement. I'm so excited. We're back again with Fashion Grunge's Lauren, who is looking stunning in the new merch from Rally J Designs that I got her. How do you like it?
I love it. I mean, come on. Ghostwriter forever.
Twinsies.
Twinsies.
You can take it off for now. I don't want to damage your hair. Anyway, so yeah, I'm getting really excited to conclude this mystery, to figure out who did what in this smear campaign. We already know, but you don't. If you haven't watched it, you don't know. So let's get on with this. To Catch a Creep Part 4. You ready?
I am ready. This is like the kid version of White Lotus. I'm like, who did it? Who did it? Because I'm in the middle of watching White Lotus now. We're almost at the end, and I'm like, it could be this person, it could be this person, could be this, could be this. This is like,
Oh my god, I don't know
It's
about
like
White Lotus, but wow.
Who done it? It's a who done it, yeah. Ghostwriter.
Word. Okay, team. Here's what's been happening on Ghostwriter: the facts. The school election is going on, and Alex's campaign is in jeopardy because of a smear campaign that's going up against him. Alex has figured out his pen pal from Texas, Catherine, must have something to do with it because she's the only one who knew all the secrets that are being used in the smear flyers. Since fellow running mate or competition, whatever you call it, Nitu likes him, they know it wouldn't be her.
Mm-hmm.
And then new kid Rob saw Ghostwriter and shared that the supposed confession he dropped was actually part of a short story he was writing. So he's off the list. So that leaves kind of two suspects left. We have Janet, who is having secret meetings, which Alex decided to sneak a peek at the end of the last episode, and he was about to get caught looking through the glass window above the door. And then we have Jeffrey and Calvin, who are breaking a rule, at minimum, having headquarters on campus, which they're not supposed to have. But, it all leads back to that pen pal, Catherine. So here we go, guys. Stay track of everything. Ghostwriter team's on the case. So I remember I originally missed this fourth part.
Oh, like you didn't see how it all ended.
And I was so pissed. Like, I think it was something we were out and about, and it came on Sunday night, and I missed it. And I was like, oh, I hope you see it next week. I hope I get to see it. Because I usually would repeat it the next week.
Mm-hmm.
The first
like
one.
the one before the new one, yeah.
And I think I missed it then. But then luckily, for some reason, our local station showed it one more time. It was rare that they did that, and I got to see it. And I was like, it was like
nice.
the line,
Thank God, yeah.
I was really upset.
It was rough when we didn't see things or forgot to tape it, or like
DVR,
man.
Trying to program a VCR at the time.
Like a VCR, yeah.
No, it was not happening.
It was crazy.
So back at school, Janet hears Alex's scuffle as he scrambles to hold himself up above the door after accidentally pushing the chair away. And then when she opens the door, he's gone.
Like how?
How did he move that fast without anybody knowing or hearing him?
Jump down and run out.
That was quick.
Yeah, it was so quick.
So she closes the door and goes back inside, and he steps out from behind a locker and writes Rallier on his hand. Why don't they do this more often?
Yeah, that's what I would do all the time. Hand? Yeah.
So at the dojo, Gabby and Jamal see his call, and they head out, and then Lenny sees it in her alphabet soup and runs out, like nearly leaving her casebook behind. but we don't see Tina's for some reason. They only always show us like 2 of them. And that's
Yeah,
it.
they don't show everybody, yeah.
I wish they would show everyone. But so we're at Alex's house or his bedroom, and the whole team's together, sans Rob, who really hasn't joined yet. And they talk about Janet's secret meeting and Jeffrey and Calvin's secret campaign room. And Tina's like, well, what about Rob? And Jamal's like, he's weird, but cool. And then they mention the pen pal thing just as Ghostwriter shows up with the message, do you want this clown to be your president? And then trick or treat, photo to go. And Tina's like, well, maybe the clown thing's like a Halloween costume. And then Alex is like, oh no. And he realizes he sent a picture of himself to Catherine when he was dressed as a clown for Halloween and he was a little kid.
Like, why?
And you know what I just thought of?
Actual photo?
The fact that they're using the photo, it's like the G-rated revenge porn.
Yeah, it is. Like, you mailed the physical photo out of the album. He like goes and sees, oh my God, see this photo? There was a picture there. I'm like, okay, what kind of pen pal is this where you're like sending your family photos? I guess there was no way to send a copy.
To a pen pal before, but like it was like one. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but like
you
this
had a
is
copy
weird.
of it. So.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, but it was just really weird. I was like, okay, that's strange. You would send that, but
yeah. So they just start. They're like, okay, we're going to search her letters and find something that Catherine likes, so we can call her and get her talking, right?
This is diabolical.
This is diabolical. Like,
yeah,
this is where they really.
Is crazy.
This is like stuff I'm like, yes, this is what they need to be doing the whole time.
Yeah, like scam and screaming or like scheming people.
Yeah. And Tina's like, hey, I found something. She has a subscription to Rockmania magazine. My older brother Twan reads that. And so they're like, we can like pretend to be Rockmania magazine and say like she won a contest or something. And Lenny's like, yeah, how about a concert in New York? So they have to give her like, they can only give her a ticket if she has like a chaperone in New York to take her. And they're like,
smart.
that is a solid plan. That is actually
that is like that would work. Like this will work.
Oh, I love when you get your kid, you know, when you're really trying to be like manipulative, like kids got thinking. Like that's in real life. Like I did that too. It's how it was.
But like she's dumb. She'll totally fall for it.
She'll totally fall for this.
Totally fall for this.
I love how like Jamal is like getting all moral on them. It's like, what about we're tricking this girl, guys? Like she doesn't get tickets and they're like, dude, she's like giving this information to somebody to like hurt Alex.
Yeah, she's like smearing a school election like hundreds, thousands of miles away. Like, why do you care about this girl? Yeah, we're not hurting her. We just want to find out like who she told.
Yeah. And then so Alex is like, I'm gonna go get permission from my mom if I can make a long distance call. I'm like, oh, remember those days?
I know.
And now you can call anywhere, and there's no long distance ever.
There's no like free nights and weekends. Like I gotta call you at 9. Gotta call you at 9.
Yeah, they wanted that money
for long distance. Yeah.
So Tina's like, okay, say the fake tickets should be for this band Sweating Bullets because her brother Twan calls them hot ice. What?
Like, why would she like them though? There could be a million bands. Why wouldn't you not pick one that she talked about?
I love they're called Sweating Bullets.
Sweating Bullets. That's pretty cool.
It is. It sounds like a 90s band though.
Yeah, that's not bad.
So Jamal finally gets involved and all right, fine. Okay, mention like backstage passes or something. And Tina's like, yeah, and a sound check where they'll get to meet the band. And I was like, oh, I love this. So Jamal's like, Lenny, you should make the call. And like, yeah. And everybody's like, yeah, you're a great actress. You could do this. And she's like, okay,
you're a narc.
fine.
You should do it. you can make everyone. You can make everyone believe you.
You can call that Lenny. So yeah, she puts on that Valley Girl accent, and she's
so
like,
good.
Totally,
good.
This is totally cool. Totally. I'm not gonna go through the whole thing she does, but she goes through their bullet points, and she's like, oh, you can get this, and you can totally meet the band. And she's like, but do you have a chaperone in New York, Catherine? And she's like, yeah, my aunt and uncle. And she's like, what's their name? The Fergusons.
Oh no, dun dun.
Oh,
I did love that when she was on the phone doing this whole skit, they like wrote down things for her to say, and then as she's like pacing the room doing this whole thing, she like drops it and she has to kind of like improv and she's like and then they're like, and she's like, what? The girl on the other side's like, yeah, what? And then she's like, cool, well, get back to us before Madonna changes her hair color. And she's like, what kind of weird giggle is like, what adult is saying that?
In the background saying, out of the way, Mr. Jackson's going to like, oh, that was Michael Jackson. He's shooting this
Michael Jackson.
A cover for her.
I know.
Oh my
so
God.
Cool.
So the next day at school, the main trio, they confront Calvin, and he's like, I don't know what you're talking about. And they're like, come on, we know what's going on. And he's like, all right, fine. But it's just politics, and I'm not going to come clean. It's my work, it's yours.
Calvin is the most diabolical villain I've ever seen on children's television. Like, he
evil.
is so evil, and what I do like hate and love about him is that he like makes no apologies. And this is actually a really good learning lesson, because in life you will meet, like, you cannot always shame people into feeling bad, as we've now seen, into feeling bad about really up things they do. And he basically is like, tough shit, what are you gonna do about it? And you kind of have to learn how to react to people like that as a kid. Like, you might have a bully who, like, you fight him and then he comes back. Like, they're not, or he or she, they're not
It
gonna
doesn't
stop.
always. They always. They say stand at the bullies, they'll leave you alone. That doesn't always work.
Not always. And what are you gonna do? Like, yeah, it is kind of cool that they haven't narc so far. They are trying to kind of handle this like in-house, because there are like early teen, like tweens, right? So they're not like really little where they would obviously just run and tell like immediately because they don't know how to handle it. They're trying to like figure it out
They're trying
before
to
they
adult their
have
way up
to,
through it,
yeah,
right?
until they have to get with someone. But Calvin is just like, tell it to someone who cares. Like, he's nuts. Like,
Yeah.
Calvin is like a sociopath. Like, he does not care about anyone. It's nuts.
And the thing is, he's like, I've been planning this since last year, since 6th grade.
Yeah.
And they're like, what? And he's like, yeah, because Alex was bragging about how he's going to run for class president and how he's
like,
going to win.
Whoa.
And he just wanted to knock him down a peg. And I couldn't let Alex run my school, could I?
Oh, this sounds so much like, oh, God.
Yeah, we know.
Yeah.
And Alex was like, well, if you cared about president so much, why didn't you run? And Calvin's like, Alex, I didn't care about winning. I just didn't want you to win.
What? How? I would
Sociopath.
I would feel so, my stomach would drop if I was a kid and like another kid said that to me in my face. I would be like, oh my God, like, you're just evil.
With a
like,
smile.
Yeah, like you like that I'm uncomfortable. Like, this brings you joy. Like, this is scary. It's actually
He has a eating grin on his face and he walks off. Better luck next smear.
Yeah, I was like, what?
So Alex is like, I want to kill him. And Jamal's like, no. We need to find a way to stop him before the next flyer.
Like, you, Jamal. This is not the time.
No, we're beating his ass down.
Beating his ass now.
I'm pretty sure the school would root it on.
Yeah.
And so Alex is like, I want to make him suffer like I suffered. And Jamal's like, oh, that's it. And so they walk off. And then as they're walking off, you see Rob kind of poking his head around the corner and watching them leave. Like, he feels lonely, like, oh, And then later on, Jamal stops Rob in the hall. He's like, hey, Rob, I got a favor. We need you to like do a recon mission at the party animal because they know us, but they don't know you. And Calvin's mom loves to just talk about Calvin, and she just spills the beans about everything. We need some secrets. And Rob's like, I don't know. And he's like, come on, man, please. And like, oh, I don't know if it's going to happen. Fingers crossed, right? Meanwhile, Alex is walking through the halls, and these girls like start giving him kissy faces about the love letter thing. And then they see some baseball kids come up and like to Janet and start rapping about baseball and how like it's what life is about. What? And I'm like, why are these kids always in their uniforms? Is there a game every day?
The real story is, where are the teachers and who's appropriating the sports budget money? Like, that's
that money. They have nice uniforms too, right?
Yeah, like, where's that money gone? They had it last year. What happened? Like, something's happening. They have a computer
lab. They have all the, everything you need.
Yeah.
And like, but where's no sports money? And usually sports pay for themselves. So it's like,
I would think if they're any good, maybe they're not good and they need to win some championships in order to get money or something. I don't know.
They're a nerd school. They're nerd schools.
Maybe.
They're nerds who do sports. I don't know. So Alex sees Janet has a lot of support, and he's like, I do not stand a snowball's chance in hell. Like, all these sports kids are I'm not going to win. And then later Rob shows up and he's like, hey, I got some information from Calvin's mom. I'm like, awesome, good. Ghostwriter is right about you being a good kid. Good for you. And so he hands them like the info in like an envelope, like it's all secret.
I know it's all secret.
He wrote all this stuff down, right? I'm like, you want to help us? And he's like, no, I'm good. I hope you can use it though. And he walks
I
off,
love
right?
that. He's like, nah, I'm too cool. I gotta go.
I'm good. I got things to write. And so they go to Jamal's later, and they're all like laughing at the stuff that Rob got. And it's mainly like the ones that make them really laugh is like Calvin had his bathing suit ripped off by a wave, and he was stuck in the ocean.
Funny. Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah, that's embarrassing.
Yeah, that's embarrassing.
And he couldn't get out of the water, and they're like, ha ha ha. And Tina's like, oh look, Calvin can't sleep without his booger bat. It's, what it is. So they start to write something out, but it's like way too long. And so they're trying to figure out, it's all about figuring out how to, shorten the message. And they shorten it to Calvin caught with pants down. And there's Jamal's drawing a picture of him stuck in the water. And there's another one, Calvin is batty for his booger bat. And it's so silly. I don't know what the booger bat looks like. I guess it's a stuffed animal. So the next day, Alex meets Calvin outside. This is like great. I love how he's like, you're too smart for me, And he's like, I mean, it's been really hard on me this whole campaign. And, I guess I'll quit the election. I'll make you a deal. I'll quit the election. And Calvin's like, yeah, okay. He was like, come on, Calvin. Oh, you can write the resignation letter. We can just go do it in your campaign headquarters. He's like, okay, fine. So they go in there, and all of a sudden they turn on the lights, and all you see are these flyers of Calvin. All you hear is Calvin, no, no, no. And then Lenny and Jamal step out, and they're like, hey, smarmy ass, what's going on? And he's like, what are you doing? You're too nice. You're too nice. You won't post these. You won't do that. And you're like, oh, we won't? And then Jamal picks up a box, and it's like flyers, right? And he's like, what? He's like, we got it everywhere. Your whole life is in this box, Calvin.
Blackmail. Yes.
And Lenny's like, yeah, we're so ready. And she got so cocky all of a sudden. And so Calvin's like, fine. So he walks out. He's going to go tell. He's going to go confess, right? And we cut to Calvin and Jeffrey getting like pulled into a classroom by the principal. And she's like, you're both suspended. And Jeffrey's like, no, wait, I didn't do anything. And it's funny because while she's doing this, the other three like have their faces pressed against the door. And you can see them through the glass. And she doesn't say like, get away from the door. She just like pulls the thing down. So they can still
pulls
listen.
The shade. Yeah.
But you don't want to see him. So
she hates him.
I know. And Jeffrey's like, I didn't do anything. It was all Calvin. I'm sick of you bossing me around and telling me what to wear or how to eat. I'm like, how to eat?
How to eat? Not what to eat, but how.
How to eat. And so he says, hey, you're fired, Calvin. Fired!
Oh, God.
The principal's like, I believe you, Jeffrey. You can still run campaign.
I believe you. This guy's an idiot. I know about Calvin. We've been trying to get him for years.
And she's like, you're going to find out exactly what we're going to do to you kind of thing to Calvin. To me, though, Jeffrey was guilty by association. Calvin's a bad guy.
Yeah. But he didn't care because he wanted to win.
He wanted to win. So later at the final speeches, we see Jeffrey is lame as hell. He doesn't, a lot of you said you'd vote for me, and I still hope you will. And he does this weird, like, hand pose. What was that about? I don't know.
He had no person. Calvin was the whole boat behind that. Like, he had no personality.
Exactly.
At all. Yeah.
And then so Alex shows his video. It's cute. It's great. All the kids like it. And, that he stands up to the smear rumors about him. And however, he starts this, I'm going to try to figure out what to do with the sports teams. And he gets buzzed off. Like his time is done. He doesn't get to tell his speech. And next we see Janet Williams, who actually has a plan to save money for the sports teams. This girl is smart. She is really smart. So she's like, parents will drive kids to and from away games, and that'll like cut down on like buses. Like funding the buses. And so,
but how? What if the parents are working? This is New York City. Like,
I guess they're trying to do it in like
weekends or something like that.
This is the era of the minivan too, so they're gonna have.
That's true. Yeah, carpool. Right? Yeah, there'd be someone who could take all the kids. Yeah,
right. And then they're gonna have sponsorships for uniforms and equipment. And finally, the team captains will organize fundraisers for like extra stuff or more things they need. And Lenny's like, oh, that's why she was holding the secret meetings with the sports teams to get the team captains on board. I'm like, smart, right? So everyone's like, oh, yeah, Janet. And then we see that she's won the election. And Alex was like, you know what? She deserved it. She did all the work. She was smart about it, and good things that he's like, he's taking it under the chin. He's doing, And then Calvin walks up and says, I got suspended for a week, right? And they're like, really? And he's like, yeah, give me the flyers you promised me. He's like, okay. And they hand him the box, and it was actually just like a few flyers on top of a box inside the box. So there wasn't even a full box of flyers.
In there.
He's like, what? He's like, yeah, we tricked you. He's like, what? I'm going to get you so bad. And they're like, yeah, okay. And so he walks off, and Rob shows up. He's like, hey, congratulations on catching the guy, and they're like, hey, we're going to go celebrate after school if you want to come with us. And he's like, no, thanks. I don't do groups. And then he walks off, and then, he kind of regrets it, you can tell, because he looks back because they're having fun together, and they're like, oh, yeah. And then Ghostwriter shows up next to him on the bulletin board, and it says, take a chance on friends.
Oh.
And he looks back at them again, and he walks off. End of mystery.
Oh, that is really cool, too. Another good lesson for kids in this is that there are kids who are, like, socially awkward. I was one of those kids who just didn't like to... I wanted to be friends, but I wasn't just so, like... Even if someone would be like, hey, come sit with us, I'd be like, no, it's okay. Like, I was just the only child. I was so used to being on my own, so I didn't want to change it.
Yeah,
but
it's weird.
Cool.
It's foreign, and you're like, I don't know how to do that. And
like a lot of people, and like, yeah, what if one person doesn't like me and then they don't want to hang out with me anymore, whatever. But that's cool.
And what if that one person turns everybody else against me?
Yeah, like that's cool that he is that standoffish character, and you slowly see him like get more part of the group. So that is cool too. Yeah, there are a lot of good little lessons. I should tell my friends that have some like young kids, I should be like, when they get older to watch shows, like you should show them Ghostwriter just to see if they like it, because it is a cool show. Like
it is a good show. It's well written.
Yeah.
It's got good.
It's well written.
It's a little slow in parts because of the
cheesy
writing and whatnot, but and it can be cheesy, but and the graphics aren't great for nowadays, but it's still great.
Yeah, I think it's a fun show. Yeah, it's cool.
I agree. And, I wonder, will Rob take the chance? Will he take a chance on Friends? We'll have to wait and see.
We'll see.
Yeah. I love how they got Calvin in the end. It's not the last we see of him, unfortunately. And he makes it worse as it goes on. Like, he gets worse. And I think
it is good. I don't remember what he does to make it worse, but I am excited to like rewatch and find out, because he is a good... Villains are always the most interesting part of the stories anyway. Oh, yeah. So he is a good kid, and as an actor, he has a really adult, like what do you call it, like delivery
and sinister presence about him.
Yeah, and like really, I know he's either watching like movies. He seems like he really studied like this type of villain as a kid. Like I don't know what he watched, but he definitely like is good at it. Like this actor is actually, as a kid, is really good at being like a sociopath and like adult, but not. And even like talking to the adults, like how he talks to the principal, kind of like, well, it's like, God, I could never be a principal. I know.
Like, oh my God, I substitute taught when I was 19. I was like, I can't do this. I was gonna become a teacher, and I was like, I can't do this. I can't do it with kids.
It's a lot. Yeah, it's a lot.
Well, thank you, Lauren, again for joining me for another Ghostwriter. We'll come back soon with another one. We're probably going to go into the comics next, so look out for that one. That one's wacky. It is wacky.
I don't remember that one, so I'm excited.
Oh, it's crazy. That's when they try to do the comic book competition. So it's really silly. So we're coming back for that eventually, but stay tuned. We'll have some more episodes of more recaps coming soon. So see you then, and check out Fashion Grunge.
Yeah, check it out.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.